Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on into another Mancave101 podcast. Well, this actually isn't a trailer reaction. I guess we'll call this breaking news. Mancave101 breaking news. Let's just call it what it is. We are going to be discussing the Jonathan Majors case that has finally reached a verdict today. It went a way that I don't know if any of us really expected. We're going to get into more details here, but before we do, let me just introduce the guys real quick. Spread love, it's the Brooklyn way. Big Chase, what's happening?
Free Kang, goddammit. Free Kang.
Deep in the heart of Texas. Man, listen, it's Wendeezy. What's happening?
It's preposterous. It's ludicrous. It's superfluous. I can't believe this.
Superfluous?
And of course, live from the man cave, it's Caleb K, the Mama on a God. Leo, what is happening?
Oh God! Hey, how you doing, everybody?
And I, of course, am your man in the chair, AA Ron, and erroneous on all accounts. Anyway, we're just gonna get right into it. So, Jonathan Majors, and I want to make sure that I'm giving the correct information. So, Jonathan Majors was officially handed a verdict. He was charged guilty on. Let me just double check to make sure. Does anybody here have an offhand?
Third degree.
I got it.
Third degree assault.
Okay, he was right. So he was assault of the third degree, intent to cause physical injury, not guilty. Assault on the third degree, reckless causing physical injury, guilty. Aggravated harassment in the second degree, not guilty, and harassment in the second degree, guilty.
Okay.
So,
I don't know how we just want to dive right into this, but
I mean, listen, bro.
I was gonna say whoever wants to go.
At the end of the day, you know, it's a loss on so many levels and whatnot. It's a sad day if you are a Marvel fan. It's a sad day if you are a fan of Jonathan Majors, and it's a sad day if you're a black man in this fucking country. Because there's just so much, you know, listen, we know that things with relationships go bad, and we know they don't always, you know, people don't always be adults, but we're talking about fucking up somebody's career over some emotional shit. At the end of the day, I don't know what else anybody else saw, but I didn't see anything that there was any major injuries or anything that couldn't be resolved by two people sitting down in a room and leaving that room as adults. But you know, it just always feels like there is, you know, another agenda to stop black men from reaching certain levels at the end of the day. Like, you know, we don't want to always pull the race card, but sometimes the shit is what it is. We're not going to pretend like we don't. Jonathan Majors was ascending to the top of this Hollywood industry at a strategic, a ridiculous rate. And it feels like somebody was like, no, you're not going to have it. And whatnot.
We also, me personally, I'm waiting for the transcript of the trial before I pass my judgment, because, okay, I understand the whole story of the trial. I understand the whole aspect of the trial. I am waiting for the transcript of the trial. I'm waiting for the court to print out the whole thing. That way we get witness testimony, we get his testimony, we get the evidence shown, we get certain things that don't get blacked out. Until then, I am not going to pass no judgment until I get to read it myself.
He didn't testify.
He did not testify. He did not. He did the things that have come out. I haven't heard that much testimony on her side. I've heard a lot of his side. I want to see where everything lies at the end of the day once I read the testimony and the verdicts that came out, because they got a split decision. Because there's one thing that sticks out to me, that they said that the injuries occurred during the private car ride. The private car driver actually said she was assaulting him, and that's what he came out and he called the driver, said she was acting very psycho, and she wouldn't let him go, and she took his phone, blase.
Yeah, it's only in America can you be fucking charged with harassment for running away from somebody.
but also there's text messages that what he was talking about. So it's I have to see. I want me personally. I need to see everything, and once I see everything, once I read the whole testimony and the whole case trial, I will give my opinion on it. But it doesn't look good for her and the way the court system ran it. So in my eyes, for me, knowing from what I know right now, it doesn't look good it doesn't look good. But like I said, I want to see the whole thing. I need to see the whole thing in my own. I have to have it in my hands. That way I can sit down with it, read it, and then say, okay, and I can describe, okay, where was the fuck up at?
Fair.
Because that's what I personally, this is what I want to do. Because before I say, because I take all that shit very seriously. So before I have to know everything. I have to know everything that happened in that courtroom.
So I was gonna say I was just sitting here reading an article, and there were a couple of things that I didn't even realize. I didn't realize that when he gets sentenced on February 6th, he could face up to a year of jail time potentially.
He's not gonna get a year.
I was gonna say, and then also I mean, they also said strong probability probation, a lot of different things. So like, what he's going to, if he decides not to plead, what's it called? What do they call it in court? I haven't been in fucking court for so long. If he doesn't plea out, he's already found guilty. So it's up to the judge to decide what is his sentencing. But it's a first time offense. It's a first time offense on these cases, and it's a misdemeanor. If he pleads out, he pleads him down to a fucking less than a misdemeanor. He'll probably get maybe community service and maybe a nice fine.
They'll give him a fine and all this shit. But then we gotta see where this goes with fucking civil court and all of that, because I'm quite
civil court is gonna be a mess. It's gonna be a mess.
Gonna fucking sue and all that bullshit. Listen, this whole fucking thing is just a mess. And like I said, at the end of the day, it just always seems like there's a fucking agenda. And I hate to do conspiracy shit, but it is what it is.
Why?
You know what I'm saying? It just is what it fucking is.
I find it funny that after a certain incident at a certain award show, that all of a sudden it just, just one black star after another is going down a road that's not necessarily characterized for their person, like just out of the blue. Jamie Foxx is just like detrimentally on his deathbed. And then out of the blue, this man just beat up a girl. Like, really though? Like like he's not even at the height of his own success yet.
Yeah,
he was on the roller coaster going up, and he was knocking stuff off, and he was on his way up, and he decided, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna beat up on this chick and throw it all away. It seems too coincidental for it not to be fishy. Meanwhile, you have other people throwing chairs at people and and whatnot, kidnapping folk and
keeping their film, keeping all of their shit, bro.
But they keep their film, they get paid, they get to go out and promote. I mean, I'm just
I'm just saying.
I haven't done this in a minute, man.
I'm just saying.
I'm talking to you, Ezra.
Just saying, like, bro, we can just hit people with chairs and just.
I mean, like it's crazy. I mean, but the disparity is kind of glaring. So, that's where I sit with it. I mean, regardless of what, like it's a bit much too coincidental for me to live life. Like,
I've been following this case very, very closely, and there's certain aspects that do stick out to me that I don't like. But like I said, I am waiting for the transcript. Yeah, I need to see. I need to see his text messages. I need to see her text messages because that texting harassment charge, I don't see it. But this is from the information that I've known thus far. So I don't know the whole thing without having the transcript in front of me. I need to see the back and forth, and this is the problem with this new day and age. Once you realize you put in something in a text message, you get no feeling in it.
Right,
you got nothing in. There's no context to the fucking story. It is what it is, plain black and white, simple as that. And they can flip that to how many ways they want to. So just FYI to all you guys out there, stop sending text messages.
Yo, don't send text messages. Don't send voice messages.
No smoke signals. None of that.
None of that shit, bro.
Go back to old school ways and actually talking to a female. Oh wait, you have to actually have a what is it called?
A conversation.
Oh yeah, that thing right there. Yeah, you have to actually know how to talk to a female and actually know how to do it the right way and be polite about it. Because don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. 9 times out of 10, these cases don't go nowhere. But also, we also got to realize, there's a lot of women out here that do get abused.
So, in no way, shape, or form does anybody on this panel believe that it's okay for any man, if you want to call yourself that, if you're gonna put your hands on a woman, like that's not acceptable at all.
It's a fact.
In no way, shape, or form. Don't
none
do
of
it.
us are condemning any type of abuse toward women. At the end of the day,
I'm talking about the disparity and how things.
I'm very much a fan of everybody keeping their damn hands to themselves.
Damn real.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, no matter how much restraint you might have, at the end of the day, you're human. You know, raise your hand if you got a little cousin ever hit your ass with a Tonka truck and you almost forgot that he was 2. Like, it happens, you know what I'm saying? Like, you almost forgot he was 2 for like 2 seconds.
I did forget. I'm sorry. I apologize. I was punished, but you learned today.
Yeah,
I did learn, and so did he. So,
man, we all grew up in the wrestling days, and one cousin pissed you off. Kind of DDT his ass one quick time.
You got that little cousin you was play fighting with, and he's only high enough to hit you in the balls, and he's like, damn.
Yeah, but this is the whole thing with this case and the video footage. The way this is my take to the information that I have so far. The information that TMZ and everybody else put out, it looks to me like it was put out for a reason to expect us to believe that he didn't do it, and they didn't put out her side of whatever happened inside that car. But whatever happened inside that car did not cause, to my eyes, her getting her ear cut. Yeah. Because the video footage that we saw when she got out of the car and he ran away from her ass for like 3 Manhattan blocks.
Yo, that's what I'm saying. Like,
my man was sprinting.
Video, she's chasing him for 3 blocks, but he's
Manhattan blocks. Y'all motherfuckers don't know Manhattan blocks ain't regular blocks.
Take any 2 blocks in your town, and that's a Manhattan block on the short side.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So you have in the things that I saw from the video footage that I've seen so far is there's no blood. And I don't, and me knowing
her head, she didn't do none of that.
And me knowing NYPD.
Oh, I know NYPD.
And the way the things that this lawyer was bringing out, that you noticed the blood on the bed, but you didn't notice the throw up that was right next to it. So you didn't want to see it, and then you found her butt naked, and he's the person that put the blanket over her. Because if he would have never put the footage off the camera off the police officer, she was bucket naked in that damn closet. If he would have never put the towel under her bottom half, that would have been all over YouTube by now.
Yeah,
because they would have sold that video.
I've been pretty quiet the whole time, so I'm just gonna say that I echo a lot of what you guys have said. Obviously, I just want to bring this back to so obviously for this podcast, a lot of us here have seen Jonathan Majors not only as Kang, but we've also seen him in the last Rocky movie. He's been in a bunch of other films that we've seen, and he's done Loki. Obviously, he's done a fantastic job, and I think to what Chase said earlier, as a Marvel fan, I'm sad because I really was looking forward to seeing Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror. I thought he was going to annihilate that role in every different iteration because he could play so many different roles and play them well. You could see that from the limited time you saw him on screen already in Marvel. And you know, obviously for him as a person, you know, I would like to say, like to Leo's point, like I also want to make sure that I know all the details before I say something that's rather outlandish or anything like that. But like, obviously I do feel bad for him because of how things seem to have played out. I do. I feel some type of way for him because it doesn't seem like I don't know if the punishment fits the crime, quote unquote crime here. You know what I mean? Like it's just I would like to read more, like Leo said before, I really give a full but to this point, like I am sad because I think he was the best part of that Ant-Man movie that came out, Ant-Man Quantumania. Whenever he was on fucking whenever he was on I said it every time we did a reaction or a review. Every time that he was on screen, Loki got better. Like, and it's not a knock on Loki. It's just when you saw them both together, it was like magic happening on the screen. It meshed, it worked, and it was great. And you were like, wow, like this is cool. And it's going to be great to see Kang Dynasty. And now all that, well, we don't know yet. There's been nothing official from Disney from what I understand, but it's looking more like the more we see, obviously, the mouse doesn't play games when it comes to the people getting, you know, this type of stuff happening, assault charges. And so he's probably going to be let go from Disney and lose a lot of his roles that he was pending to take. And
also, you know, we also have, these are the companies that have actually put out stories. It's basically Forbes, PBS, CBS, ABC, all the podcasts already putting it all over the pages, and they're all putting, it's basically the synopsis of every single one of their articles is for them to get views. And they have to have 16, it's like a rap song, you have to have 16 bars. So they start talking about Marvel, they start talking about his career, then they do 3 lines of the case, or 4 lines of the case, then they go back to why is Marvel losing money, so they're filling it with all their back articles.
Yeah.
And the one article that I found that has any kind of weight to it, it basically said, okay, so it basically said, in the defense claims that Jabari was the aggressor, physically attacked Mr. Majors and bluntly drives the driver and the SUV, like we said, called her a psycho girl. Marvel and Disney admittedly, supposedly, this is what PBS and Forbes put. Marvel and Disney immediately dropped Majors from all upcoming projects following the conviction, said a person close to the studio who was granted immunity. So, because he was not authorized to speak publicly on the matter. So, you're telling me that one person came from the studio? It could be a good source. Don't get me wrong. Could be a good source, and it could be could be Disney or Marvel bringing it out without nobody knowing it's them, to give Jonathan Majors some time to breathe because he just heard today. So if all these people, for some reason this feels like a hit piece, because to me it feels like every news article is saying the exact same shit all the way down to IGN, down to all these famous fucking YouTubers and all these famous companies are saying the same thing. Like, okay, you Marvel, Disney, you have to fire this person because of this.
And that's where the pressure comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Because
so basically, I until Marvel or Disney puts out their official statement, I am not going to be fucking saying anything like, okay, he lost his job, he's going to lose his job. I don't want to put that into the fucking universe. I know how Disney is. Believe me, they already know. We already know how to go.
We have to talk about it though.
Yeah, we do.
This is me personally. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Don't get me wrong. We're going to talk about it. But
we'll just start with a really big if.
We could start it off that way if you want.
Yeah. We started off with a really big if because I've read like 7 articles, and each one starts the same fucking way. Yeah. Each single one, their first paragraph, Jonathan Majors, coming to the star, either they mentioned the Quantumania, or they mention Loki, and then they go straight to, okay, this is about he was sentenced to this, to this, to this, to this. and then boom, automatically jump to this. He's these are the roles, and he's getting fired from Disney because of this. And then they go, okay, this is Disney's shortcomings. Meanwhile, their profits are 7% above average. If you guys actually did the reporting, Forbes, which you actually did the reporting, Forbes, you were at their business meeting, they're 7% above their market value if you own stock. That's facts. They made over $7.6 billion. They were projected to make 26. So they made 32 something. Billy above budget. So this is what I'm saying. And then they automatically start talking about the stock market. And either the stock market or Disney is failing. In the last 7 articles that I've read, that's what I've been getting.